Hey guys, we're in Hollywood, California by the beautiful restaurant Tao. I'm about to catch up with Joseph Diaz Jr. and you already know why. There's been a lot of trash talk going on Twitter between him, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. Who is next? We don't know what is the status of the fight. We also don't know. We're gonna ask Jojo right now. So come join me for this interview. You're talking about I'm gonna humble your ass.
I'm gonna humble Ryan Garcia's ass because he's very very cocky right now. Right now he feels like he's not even on this earth. He feels like he's on top of the world right now, and I feel like I feel like he has to be humbled. I mean, he's a young kid. He's what is he? 22, 23 years old. He's on top of the world right now, man. Like he's killing it right now. He's making a lot of money outside of like with endorsements, with sponsor deals. So he hasn't really got that humbleness inside that ring. Like he thinks that he's a boxer and he thinks that he's on top of that level, but he hasn't actually fought top opposition like that. And I feel like I'm gonna humble him by showing him what a real fighter is.
People are noticing everything. Who follows who unfollows who.
I mean, he was following me too, and he unfollowed me. So, I mean, if at the end of the day, like it is business, but I feel like there's a little type of enviness, and there is that type of grudge where it is real now. It's authentic because he's been talking a lot of shit, and I've been talking a lot of shit too, and I feel like this is the biggest opportunity of my life. And he should be taking it that this is the biggest opportunity of his life because I ain't no joke. I'm gonna come full force with you, Ryan. So you better not back out either. I swear to God, you better not back out.
What's the status?
With the fight, it's about 95% done. I mean, I already agreed to everything. I already told Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, Robert Diaz, my advisors, MTK, that I want to fight Ryan Garcia. But the only thing that we're waiting on now is him. He's basically wanting more money. He wants to do this. He's just a queen. He wants to like be on top of everything. And at the end of the day, like I just want to fight. I want to showcase to everybody. I want to give the fight fans what they want to see, and that's Joseph Diaz versus Ryan Garcia, especially out here in LA. I feel like it's a big fight. It's a fight that the fight fans should see because Ryan Garcia is a big name. He's a good fighter. I'm a big name. I'm a good fighter as well, and I feel like it will be a big fight for the fight fans. But at the end of the day, it's up to him, and let's see what he does because I already agreed to everything. I'm already all set. Now the ball is on his court. At the end of the day, man, I'll fight Tank Davis. I'll fight Devin Haney. I'll fight all these guys. I've been telling Oscar De La Hoya, I've been telling Robert Garcia to put me in with all these guys. I wanted to fight Devin Haney next. I never got no contract. I never got nothing sent to me, and that's the honest truth. I never got anything sent to me. With Tank Davis, I already wrote to Tank Davis saying let's fight. He said that he was gonna hit up like Leonard Alabi, Mayweather, and all that stuff, but I never got anything either. So at the end of the day, I feel like these guys are all chumps. I feel like these guys are not like real fighters like how I am. I'm the type of guy that is not trying to make the most money and trying to make as much as I possibly can and not rip off the fans. If I'm gonna make a lot of money and if I'm gonna like generate a lot of money for myself, I want to give the fight fans what they want to see, and that's the biggest fights possible. And that's why I'm trying to push with Ryan Garcia. That's why I'm trying to push with Devin Haney. That's why I'm trying to push with Gervonta Davis. But these guys are thinking of it as a business other than thinking of it as legacy. Because at the end of the day, the champion is always with the final say so. Anybody could be a mandatory. Anybody could push. Anybody could get to that mandatory spot, but it's the champion that is willing to actually accept that mandatory. There's been multiple times where people are mandated to fight for the title and to fight the champion, but a lot of people pay people off to actually fight somebody else so they can make either more money or so they could win that type of opponent because they don't want to face the mandated person. So at the end of the day, like Devin Haney knows what it is, man. Like I ain't stupid, Devin. If you really want to fight, man, send me the contract. You know my email. I already sent you my email. I sent you everything. I sent you a DM. If you really want to fight, I already texted Eddie Hearn as well. I sent him a DM too. If they really wanted to fight, they would have sent me the contract, but they haven't sent me shit.
A lot of people think that it's your side.
That a lot of people think it's my side, but at the end of the day, man, like I fought top opposition my whole entire career. I mean, I faced Andrew Cancio, he was a champion. I faced Rene Alvarado, he was a champion. I faced Jesus Jesus Rojas. He was a champion as well. I faced Gary Russell Jr. He was a champion. I faced Tevin Farmer. He was a champion. I faced the mandatory Rakhimov. He was the mandatory guy. And then I actually moved up and faced Javier Fortuna that Ryan pulled out on because he was scared of him. Like, I'm the type of person that is not going to dodge from any smoke. If these guys really want to fight me, they know where to reach me.
Talking about your last fight with Javier Fortuna, that was mandatory for Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, just on press conference for Canelo and Plant, you got beat up. That's for sure. He said that. So like you didn't look good at all.
Man, I dominated the whole fight. I mean, I feel like I only lost 2 rounds that fight. Javier Fortuna, he was a dangerous opponent. He's very strong. He's very aggressive, kind of awkward and slick. And he's a veteran inside that ring, man. And you guys seen Javier Fortuna. A lot of people know Javier Fortuna in the boxing world, and Ryan Garcia knew that. Ryan Garcia knew that Javier Fortuna was a very dangerous opponent. That's why he pulled out, because he was scared of that power. Because he got dropped by Luke Campbell, and Luke Campbell only has, 6, 7 knockouts out of, 40, 50 fights or something like that. Like, he has a lot of fights, but he hasn't knocked anybody out, and he got dropped by Luke Campbell. He got wobbled by Luke Campbell. And like with a guy like Javier Fortuna that is very dangerous, that has a lot of knockouts, that is an aggressor when he goes for the kill and stuff like that, he goes for the kill. He's a very, very dangerous opponent. And I feel like I did everything possible to dominate the fight. Yeah, of course, it's a boxing fight. We're going to get hit. I'm going to get hit. He's going to get hit. It's a fight. Of course I'm going to get hit, no matter what. So, like, for him to say something like that, it's just backing up his word because he was a bitch to pull out from that fight.
In addition to that, he said that he would have knocked out Javier Fortuna in the first round or third round, something like in the beginning. Maybe he's talking about that Jojo Diaz doesn't have enough power or something.
If you honestly thought that, then he would have fought him instead of pulling out from anxiety and mental health illness. Everybody goes through that. I mean, I go through that too, and I went through that back in 2017, and I pushed through it because I want to inspire people. And I feel like with that level that he's at, he should be inspiring people too as well. He should be going and pushing and being like, yo, like, I'm going through all this stuff. I'm going through all this anxiety. I'm going through all this stress. I'm going through all this depression. But at the end of the day, like, I know that I have a lot of people that are watching over me. I'm that motivator. So he should have actually stepped up and had the balls. But he don't have no balls.
Not many people know that you went through a lot of stuff in your personal life, close people. There was a lot. So, I agree with you that if you're a fighter, you have to be a fighter first. But it is what it is. He fought Velez. They all were naturally like 125 pounders. You also coming up in a weight, which is you smaller guy than him. Do you consider yourself smaller guy than him?
No, I don't. And you guys are gonna see that come fight night. I'm gonna be the bigger guy come fight night. When we fight inside that ring, I'm gonna be the bigger guy. I mean, I'm just naturally built different. I feel like Luke Campbell, he's a good fighter, don't get me wrong. I mean, he had a medal in the 2012 Olympics, what I went through and I competed in. But I feel like he never had that professional style. He always had that amateur style, where that British style where he just wants to bounce around and like be that Olympic boxer type of thing. But with me, I'm a different type of animal. I'm gonna be digging to the body. I'm gonna be fighting on the inside. I'm gonna be cutting off the ring. I'm gonna be very aggressive and very explosive. And I just feel like it's a whole different fight and it's a whole different animal. So that's why I'm saying, like, I just don't even want to compare that to. I don't even want to compare me to Luke Campbell because I already know that I'm a different fighter than him. We sparred multiple times already in the past, and he already knows what it is. Like, he already knows what I've done to him in the past in sparring partners. Like, I don't want to expose my sparring with him and stuff. People were recording before, and they probably still have the recording. And I mean, I touched him up here and there and stuff, but he knows what I'm about, and he knows what I'm gonna bring to the table. And I feel like at that time when I sparred him, I was a very, very good fighter, but now I'm a better fighter as far as my mindset, me being more experienced, me like going through everything that I've been through as far as my boxing career, fighting Gary Russell Jr., fighting Tevin Farmer, fighting Jesus Rojas, fighting Rene Alvarado, Andrew Cancio, all these guys I already been at that top opposition already. So Ryan Garcia, like he is fast, yeah, he is powerful, but it's nothing that I never seen before. I've seen everything already inside that ring where I feel like whatever he tries to bring to the table, it's not gonna affect me because I already seen everything that I've seen before. Yeah, because I mean, Ryan Garcia is a queen. He's not a king. He's a queen. Like he's the type of person that is just all hype and just wants to make as much money as he possibly can because he knows he's not a real boxer like us. He knows that in the back of his mind, Ryan Garcia knows that he's gonna lose, and he's just trying to capitalize as much as he can with his name, with his face, with his TikToking, with his Instagram. He's just trying to capitalize on every opportunity that he possibly can to get as much money as he possibly can. And with me, I already know that I'm built different. I mean, I came from nothing to something, and I'm the type of person that is not like at that level where he is as far as TikToking. I'm not gonna do no TikToking. I'm not gonna do no dancing on my Instagram or anything like that, trying to be all cute or anything like that. I'm not gonna do anything like that. I'm just gonna basically just be who I am, and that's a boxer, and that's just basically who I am. And I feel like he just doesn't have that. He just doesn't have that dog in him, and I have that dog in him. And I feel like I just can't wait to fight him, man, because he's been talking so much shit. But I just want to expose everything that he says he is, but he's not. Well, that's basically what I feel. I feel like Ryan Garcia, he hasn't experienced the elite level yet as far as fighting. The only toughest fight that he's fought was Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell is already washed up. He already had a couple losses, and I feel like Luke Campbell had that. Had that feeling where he's already settled to lose. With me, I feel like I'm the type of person that don't want to lose, and I'm the type of person that don't want to. I want to showcase a lot of things. I want to prove to everybody that dreams do come to reality and dreams do matter. And I want to be that motivator. I want to inspire people, and I want to bring light to people. And I feel like I'm just a different animal. When I fight Ryan Garcia, it's gonna be a whole different thing. It's not gonna be like the Luke Campbell fight. If I see that I have Ryan Garcia hurt, I'm gonna go for the kill and I'm gonna knock him out. If I drop him, and I'm not gonna just step back like how Luke Campbell did. Luke Campbell landed a flush shot on Ryan Garcia and he was wobbly. Like he had spaghetti legs and he was already done, but he just didn't have that it factor. He didn't have that go out there and just knock him out once you got him dropped. When I get Ryan Garcia hurt, I'm just gonna go for the kill and I'm gonna knock him out. And he's talking all this shit, he's talking all this stuff, but he hasn't experienced, and he hasn't went through the things that I went through. I went through a lot of trials and tribulations, but with his TikToking, with his Instagram videos, with his little dancing and trying to be all cool, he got all these followers and stuff like that. So he thinks like he's big shit, but he ain't shit. He ain't nothing. So I'm gonna expose that.
Talked about Tank. Maybe he'll have to fight Rollies if he wants to keep his 135 WBA title, I guess, because Rollie is mandatory now for his belt. So Rollie's talking a lot of stuff on the social media. We know Rollies. So what do you think about that?
I think Tank Davis knocks him out. Rollies is a very strong fighter, but he don't have the skill that Tank Davis has. Tank Davis is very elusive. He's very strong. He's very aggressive, and I feel like you have to have that certain type of game plan in order to beat Gervonta Davis. And I feel like Rollies don't. Rollies is very wild. He's very, just relying on his power. He's not trying to set him up or anything like that. And I just think that Tank Davis just walks all over him. So number one, I would give Teofimo the number one spot because he's the champion. He has all the belts, and he beat Lomachenko, a guy that a lot of people avoided. So I give him that respect, and I'm going to put him number one. Number two, I give myself the number two spot. I don't think anybody could beat me at 135 pounds right now. Number three, I would give Devin Haney because he's a good defensive fighter and he knows how to win the rounds. Number four, I give Ryan Garcia because obviously he has that hook, he has that check hook, he has that speed. And number five, I would give Richard Comey.
Okay, what about Rollies?
Rollie's, man.
He has a belt.
Rollie's has a belt, but he hasn't fought anybody tough yet. Most toughest fight that I ever fought was Garcias Jr. The reason why is because not only was he fast and was he elusive, but I also had to fight the ref. The ref was one-legged. He was lopsided. He wasn't letting me fight on the inside. Whenever I was landing some good body shots, I dropped him twice, and they didn't call him a knockdown or anything like that. They called it a slip. So not only was I fighting Gary Russell Jr., I was fighting the referees, I was fighting the judges, I was fighting everything because it was at his venue. It was a PBC card. It was Al Heyman's promotions, all that stuff. So there was a lot at stake for myself, but I wanted to go out there and prove to everybody that I'm not the type of guy that is going to win a title by fighting anybody or fighting like just a bum to win that title. Like Devin Haney. Like Devin Haney literally got upgraded to being a champion. With me, I wanted to fight the champion to be the champion. And I feel like I learned a lot because Gary Russell Jr. was applying a lot of pressure, like he was throwing a lot of shots and stuff, but I knew that I didn't take a lot of risks at that time. I didn't go out there and just be like, you know what, man, this is a world title shot and I have to go out and just give it a my all. I feel like I should have been a little more aggressive. I was applying a lot of pressure. I was keeping my hands up, but I wasn't throwing a lot. And I feel like I should have took a lot more risk. And now I learned that. And I know that in the back of my mind now that any given time now, whenever I'm fighting, I know that it's the biggest opportunity now because I know that there's a lot at stake because boxing is a cold sport. Either you lose and you go all the way back down or you win and you keep on progressing. And I'm aware of that now. So my dream car that I personally want to have is an Audi R8. I want to get an Audi R8, man. It's a V10. It's nice. It's a coupe. It's perfect. That's my dream car. And my dream house will probably be somewhere either in the mountains or somewhere like far, far away from LA. That way I could just be, taking care of my son and just being by myself and making sure that I'm not like in the limelight all the time. I don't want to have that superstardom that a lot of people have. I want to have that private life and that private security where I'm taking care of my son and making sure my son has that life that I grew up in and not like always in the limelight or anything like that. I want him to grow up and just do sports, have whatever he wants to have because I can provide that for him. But I just want him to live his life for what he wants to be.
Are you gonna let him box?
It just depends. I mean, it depends. If he wants to fight, then I'm gonna let him fight. Of course, I'm gonna like teach him how to fight and stuff like that. I'm gonna right when he's able to walk or right when he's able to stand, I'm gonna teach him how to throw punches and stuff. I'm always gonna teach him how to fight. But I don't know if I want him to pursue that. If he wants to pursue it, he could pursue it, and I'm gonna be all for it. But I just want him to be himself. If he wants to be like an astronaut, or if he wants to be a firefighter or a police officer, or if he wants to go to college, I'm just gonna go out there and support him no matter what.
What if he wants to be a rapper or a TikToker?
Then I'll buy him a studio and make sure that he raps.
Okay.